on behalf of the Mindalia.com team, welcome. Well, first of all, we want to notice you that Mikel and me, we are Spanish, but we are trying to do this our best in English, and we are sure this is working perfectly. So today, Mikel Lizarralde is joining us to tell us about heaven. He says heaven is closer than you think. Mikel Lizarralde is a natural intuitive, ordained Interfaith Minister, doctor in Philosophy and Therapeutic Counseling, speaker and published author. So let's not delay this any further and welcome, Mikel. How are you?
Hi, thank you. I'm excited and very honored to be here. It's
Well,
a
Mikel,
delight.
I'm excited as well to be here with you sharing this space. So when you want, you can start with this information.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone, for connecting and reaching out to us. It's always wonderful and magnificent to learn that people want to know more about life after life and the spirit phenomena, because this is really the future. This is how we really can grow as humanity. We really can grow as a race if we understand that we don't die, that we carry on living after the change we call death, and that there is no such thing as death, and that we are all interconnected, and the facts and the issues that we face here will be rewarded on the afterlife, and also the deeds that we do will have also a consequence on the afterlife. Before we begin telling you about life after life, how I know and how I can share with you that heaven is really closer than you think, I would like to start with a quote. I always like to start with a quote. No, that's for the winter. With a quote by Eleanor Roosevelt. The purpose of life, after all, is to live it, to taste the experience to the utmost, to reach out eagerly and without fear for newer and richer experience. As I said, this is a quote by Eleanor Roosevelt, and this is just food for thought, something for you to think about. A lot of people tell me all kinds of stories about life after life, about the spirit world, about the spirit phenomena. Before anything, I would like to clear out that the spirit cannot make you do anything. The spirit cannot make things happen for you, in the sense of they cannot impose things for you. Of course, that they're there for helping us, they're there to reaching out, to helping to guide us, but they cannot force us into making something that we don't want to do. A lot of people seem to believe that they are spirits that want to go inside us, and that there's spirits that want, like, take the all the bad experiences and use them against us. And that is not true. When you really look into the spirit world and you understand how the spirit work, how the spirit phenomena work, you understand that that is only and merely nothing more and nothing less than pure, absolute, unconditional love. This is the place that we come from, and this is the place that we're going to go after the change we call death. So why did I choose that title? Heaven is closer than you think. Because you may think that you're alone, and you may feel depressed and you may feel sad, but the truth is that we really are never alone, that we are always accompanied. When we come to the earth, and sorry, no one comes here to the earth alone, and no one dies really alone. We always have an entourage. We always have a group of people who come with us, and that their goal and their mission is to help us achieve our mission on earth. We all come with a divine purpose. We all have a goal, we all have a mission, and we choose that mission before coming here to the earth. And the truth is that those who come with us on the earth stay with us until the day that we pass over to the other side. So there's really no such thing as the spirits being unable to cross over to the other side, or spirits getting attached forever and ever onto some place or onto someone. It's true, some spirits who do not realize that they have passed away. But they do also have, and we have to remember that, an entourage. They have a group of people, guides, helpers, loved ones, avatars, masters, saints who are there to assist them. So heaven really is closer than you think, because we are always and we are all interconnected. We have our guides, we have masters, we have avatars, we have our loved ones, and their goal is to make our life easier. It's only us who complicate it. It's only us who think, that we really are, that there really are no consequences. When we come to the earth, it's like a board meeting. You look at the chores that you are given, you look at the missions that they're there for you, depending on what your former past have been, depending on what choices you've made before. You are allowed to choose certain goals or certain missions. And it's true, sometimes there are some that are in a way imposed to us. For example, if I did very well on mathematics or on unconditional love or on generosity, I may want to repeat that lesson when I come here on the earth. But my spirit guides may tell me, no, Mikel, you already did that. It's not your duty to repeat that. You should choose something you're not so prominent, you're not so good at. Maybe you should learn about, I don't know, letting go. Or maybe you should learn about um, being independent. Or maybe you should learn about being more, I don't know, self. Um, Managed or independent. Anyway, we all have like missions that come with us that we can choose, that we chose before we came here on the earth, and there are also some missions that are given to us in the sense of helping us make a more fulfilled, a better kind of life. The ultimate goal is to achieve the enlightenment, and to sit on the right hand or left hand, whatever you want to name it, of God, and be united with the universal God, the universal creator, and be unified and never come back. So then why should we come ever to the earth? Then a lot of people ask me, why on earth should I come here to this planet if the ultimate goal is to then go back? Well, for the spirit world, this is like a playground. This is like an amusement park. We have a lot of opportunities, to be angry, to be upset, to love, to hate, to have a career, to learn what it is like to have a lot of money, to learn what it is like to lose all that money, to swim, to run, to gain weight, to lose weight, and to feel a lot of emotions that also are, in a way, pulling us down, but they're also a blessing for the soul to be able to have that experience. And that is really our mission here on the earth. And I truly believe, that, and that is one thing that one of my main teachers always used to say. The spirit phenomena is the missing link between science and religion. And I truly believe that. And I don't know how and when we ever thought we were ostracized or we were separated from one another and we were separated from God. The truth is, we were never really separated from one another, from God, from Creator. We're all one. And in that oneness, the Spirit is with us. So a spirit is always listening. Maybe I should have called this lecture, Spirit is always listening. The Spirit is always speaking. Who is listening? Um, um, Heaven really is talking to us. We only have to learn how to listen to the subtle voices, to the subtle hints, to the subtle energy waves, the vibration that they're making us um, known, that they're making us known, really. It's so important to know about spirit phenomena that when I start thinking about all the many lives that have been changed, that have been improved, that have been really, really able to overcome tear or sadness thanks to the spirit phenomena, I really get teary and I really get emotional. This wasn't in my plans, but because I feel like it, I'm going to share with you a very personal story. I'm not going to say who, but a very close relative of mine was really, really depressed. She wouldn't go out. She really wanted to die. She really wouldn't go out. She wouldn't eat. She was mourning. She was sad. She was crying all day. And one Christmas evening, her oldest son just passed away. He went to bed and he never woke up. But and through, and of course it was a lot of sadness, a lot of grieving, a lot of mourning, a lot of tears. But it was through what that person learned about spirit phenomena. It was through what that person experienced about spirit phenomena that she really was able to overcome. And this is a proper diagnosis from the doctors. She was really able to overcome depression. Can you imagine that? Can you imagine what a blessing it is to really learn spirit, to really have that experience? And this is what I think it's missing nowadays. That's why I brought that title. And I chose that title. We are going about in our daily lives with concerned about our careers, concerned about earning more money, and we only do get new phones or new cars and new houses and more expensive clothes or more fashionable, fancier, better than my neighbor's kind of house. But then we don't bring that to the other side. We cannot bring that with us when we pass over. And it is when we have such an experience, like losing a son or losing a brother, a sibling, or a spouse, and what we can learn through that experience that can really mold us, that can really change us. But I have good news. We don't have to go through such a process. You can achieve that. You can really improve that. You can really gain that experience, that knowledge, without having to go through such a trauma. A spirit, like I was saying before, are always willing and are always there to give you hints, to give you information, to help you out on your daily lives. But they can never interfere with your soul's mission. They can never interfere with your goal. So you may be asking for help, I don't know, let's say to get more money or to learn how to save more money or to learn how to not fall into that disruptive experience, relationship. But if that relationship or that experience is very much engraved in your soul's mission, they will be there. They will help you out. You will feel them, but they cannot impede for you. They cannot avoid you having that experience. I don't know if it makes any sense. And then we have different kinds of spirit helpers and spirit loved ones. But the key is to know that you can have the spirit encounter yourself. One thing we always forget to do is call upon spirit. A lot of people are sensitives or are empaths or are gifted clairvoyants or are gifted mediums, but they don't call upon the spirit. They forget to call upon the spirit. And a lot of the times, the spirit will need an invitation to come and interact with you. So let's call spirits. Let's tell them, I'm here for you. I'm open to receiving more guidance. I'm open to having you by my side. And another trick, let's call upon spirit and let's ask the spirit to give us information in a way we will understand. Maybe it's through sights, maybe it's through touch, maybe it's through knockings or clapping, or maybe it's through snapping, maybe it's through, I don't know, music. If we go back to 1848, the birth of modern spiritualism with the Fox sisters in Hyattsville, New York, we will learn, that there was tapping and there was cracking and there were noises that the spirit was using to communicate with the sisters, with Kate and Leah, and they created a code. And the mother also came along, and because of that phenomena, and all the neighbors coming around, and everyone, being interested in the table tilting and the spirit phenomena, you know, the birth of modern spiritualism was created. There were journals, there were magazines, there were shows that began due to that one experience. And really, a lot of the times I get people ask me, why should I learn to be in touch with a dead person? Why should I learn to be in contact with my spirit guides? Well, first of all, they're not dead, and they get very upset when you say that. They're not beings, they are people. They are people who no longer have this body, but they're there for you, and that they're willing to communicate with you. And they will always help you, and they will always help you from the highest vibration, from the most pure of the purest of the loves. And sometimes it's such a pure love that we don't understand how pure that love is. But call upon them. Tell them how you want to work with them. Tell them that you want to work with them. Open yourself up to feeling, to sensing. A lot of the times we think it's imagination. We think it's dreams. We think it's a made-up story, but it's really a spirit that is communicating with you. We are surrounded by spirit. The spirit world and our worlds, all the different dimensions. Some people say 7, some people say 7 times 7. It doesn't really matter. It's not like a skyscraper. It's not like one story over the other. It's like different fields that are intertwined. So I can learn to stretch out my consciousness, and I can learn through techniques, through breathing techniques and other different techniques related to clairvoyance and focus and attention. I can learn to stretch out my energy, to open up my senses, to, in a way, purify, cleanse my tangents, my feeling, my all my senses really, and I can learn to tap into those worlds, and then I can start receiving guidance. But they also can stretch out their energy, and they can learn also to be in touch with me. And if I tell them how I like for them to work with me, if I tell them how I can understand spirit, how I will like it, and if I make it easier for them, of course, they will come more often. The truth is that we are never really alone. Then we know that we know when we know that we never die, that life goes on after the change we call death. And the true medium, the proof of survival medium, will give you undoubtable evidence of the phenomena, of the person who's still alive. And the truth is that can really heal. The truth is that can really give you a lot of peace. So when people ask you, why should you learn that? Why should you do that? It's because it gives us that inner knowing, that clear knowledge that we are still alive after the change we call death. And sometimes the medium will give you little evidence, that you have a set of keys here, or on the second drawer you have this, or when you do that, the spirit does that, or spirit can see you do that. And that is meant for you to know that they are interacting with us on our daily life. Of course, they're not prying on us. They're not gossiping, Their goal is to protect us. And like I said before, they cannot interfere with our mission. And when it's time for us to go, we will face all our deeds. We will face all the things that we did, all the people that we hurt. There's a speaker, he wrote several books. I don't remember the name of the book now. His name is Daniel Brinkley. Please look it up. Daniel Brinkley, he was struck by a lightning not once, not twice, but three times. And three times he came back to life and he brought back many, many gifts. He knew all of a sudden how to play the piano, or he knew of all of a sudden a different language. But the very first experience is very important. He saw, he was in the war in Vietnam, and he saw in front of him all the soldiers that he had killed. And he saw those soldiers smiling on him, waiting on him to forgive him. So, can you imagine how healing, how beautiful this is? So I have thousands and thousands of experiences like that. The great and wonderful Raymond Moody, in his book Life After Life, also quotes many of them. Michael Newton, Life Between Life. We have the wonderful also, I call it the modern era. I call him the modern era Fred Astaire, Evan Alexander, because he's very handsome, he's very good looking. But when you read his book, you understand that there's something more, that there are higher powers that are interconnected with us. And they're not pulling us like puppets, but they're like streams of consciousness, streams of knowledge, streams of love that we can learn how to tap into them, and they will always come into the rescue, and they will always come to guide us. And when we pass away, some people say, that they had experience of like a 3D kind of screen, or a lot of people call it the kaleidoscope experience, where they see their body leaving this earth and twirling, like going like in circles, and they review their life. Some people, not so many, see it as a flash, like all at once in one single moment. They know everything. So you do review your life, and it's not like, oh, I did all kinds of terrible things and I'm forgiven. Yes, forgiveness is a divine action, restoring really the union with God. And everyone is entitled to divine forgiveness. And everyone, every soul is allowed to go back into heaven, and it's entitled to that pardon. But you will always face what you did, and you will feel in yourself, and you will live it, you relive it, like Daniel Brinkley, and you will see it, you will feel it, you will sense it, you will know it. But you will have to, at that moment, right there and then, work of unconditional job. Um, really pardoning and letting go, and cleansing all kinds of issues that we may have, and in a way letting go, but also working with oneself. And once we've done that unconditional love work, that unconditional work, a work of pure, pure, pure loving energy, then we can move on to what I call heaven, what we call the light, into the light. That's why I know that when a soul communicates, it's always from light, because only those who have come through that process of inner knowing, inner pardoning, unconditional love can and will communicate. And there's no haunting, there's no persecuting, there's no hurting anyone, because those souls who are on the other side, who have done the job, who have done the work, will are able to come, and not the others. But there are some shows that makes us believe that it's just the opposite, And it's really important to know what the spirit can do and what the spirit cannot do. So please don't believe everything that anyone say. Put everything to test, and don't lose this, because this is our best friend. I'm giving it back to you, Dalai.
Fine, Mikel. Thank you very much for sharing your time and your knowledge with us. After all of this, I finally understand that we are blessed by universe for living all these experiences, even if they are positive or negative, because we are learning from them. And I want to highlight a phrase you said at the beginning of this conference. The purpose of life is living it. So, after all of this, let's start incorporating into our conversation some
Sure.
questions from the people watching us. If you agree, Michael, we are starting with one
Of
from
course.
Elsa Camacho. She said,
Elsa.
how to know if I am also a medium? Because I have
Mm,
seen lights. It is felt presences, and sometimes I feel it channeled. Thank you, Mikel.
okay. This is a wonderful question. We all have the gift. We don't have only five senses. We have so many, 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 many more. And there's something that is called the clairs, the clairaudience, the clairvoyance, the clairgustance, the claircognizance. There are about eight clairs in which we can tap into intuitive gifts or the mediumistic field. It's what we call either the horizontal field or the vertical field, sometimes both. So the truth is that not a lot of people are aware of their gifts, but we all have those gifts. So probably you already are a medium, Elsa. How do I know it? Well, it's fun because I always love putting it to test. You know, a spirit can never harm you, can never make you do things you never wanted to do or jump over a cliff or things like that. That is not a spirit. So really, there's nothing to fear because everything comes from love and nothing but love. But if you felt tingling, or if you saw a spirit, or if you heard a spirit, or if you felt the presence of a spirit, maybe very subtle or maybe stronger, you will know it because it changes you forever. It doesn't leave you, untouched. It touches you in so many ways, in such deep way that you will know. And probably if you had it once, the truth is that you very likely be able to have more experiences. So put it to test, Elsa. Call upon your guides, call upon your spirit helpers, your loved ones, and tell them, ask them to come to you in a way you will understand, and they will come to you. And the truth is that we all have the gift, only that we all manifest the gift in a very unique and very particular way. So that's why it's very difficult to teach this phenomena because we all do it on our own unique way. So I hope it works for you, Elsa.
Well, Elsa, congratulations. Because if Mikkel says you already are a medium, then you are. Let's continue with another question. It comes from YouTube, and she's called Norma Pineda. She says,
Hmm.
it seems as we were travelers gathering experiences to nourish the being one good or whatever it is named. What can we say?
I'm sorry, I don't understand the question.
Okay, I'm repeating it one more time. She said, it seems as we were travelers
Hmm.
gathering experiences to nourish the being one good or whatever is it named.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, I understand now. Sorry. Yeah, we all come from the one divine spark, from the one divine godlike spark. And so the truth is that we're all, made of the image of God. We're all individual little sparks wandering and inhabiting the earth. And our goal and our purpose is to make this world, maybe other worlds, better and to gain certain experiences and to have fun. So if you are on this earth, you're not having fun, you're not enjoying yourself, maybe you're not doing such a good job. So reset, rethink of what you're doing and restart that computer and throw out all those built-in kind of beliefs and relearn. Maybe it will be the process, but yes, our goal will be, Norma, to kind of go back to the godlike spark, to become one. But in the meantime, what we did is gain experience, learn a lot, improve also the earth that we're inhabiting, and help our vibration be risen. Maybe another time we can talk about that more in detail. That's maybe a hint I'm sending out to Mindalia.
Of course, Michael, we are doing that. Be sure about that. We've got another question from Claudia Bonilla Ferrari, and she's coming from the USA. I saw a hummingbird in my window just 10 minutes ago. Does that have a meaning? I'm going through
Mhm.
difficult times.
Well, thank you, Claudia. This is very interesting. A lot of the time, spirits can come to us through butterflies. Sorry, through a lot of different animals. But it seems like they prefer butterflies, dragonflies, sometimes ladybugs, and many of the times birds. So the bird is like how would I put it? Like a spy, or like yeah, like a spy, like a supervisor. The spirit world is sending to watch over you. Maybe there is someone who's passed away that was dear to you. That loved hummingbirds, or maybe there's someone that you knew that loved bird watching, or loved Tinkerbell, or loved feeding the birds. So think about who may be there around you, not necessarily in your family or in your heritage, but all around you who loved that kind of bird. And probably it's them talking to you. If not, it's just spirit world, spirit in general, who are watching over you, and they're saying, hello, we're here with you.
Okay, let's continue with another question from Rosana I.G. She's writing from Peru. Good
Mm-hmm.
evening. It is possible to easily connect with the energy of a deceased baby. I would like to
Mm-hmm.
know how my son is going to be. Thank you
Mm-hmm.
very much.
Yeah. Well, it's easy to connect with any spirit if you have the training, if you create the setup, if you create the atmosphere for it to happen. And the most important part is if a spirit wants to come and is willing to come and can come. Sometimes we find the spirit wants to come and they can't because they're busy doing something else, or that they're willing to come but they can't for whatever other reason, or sometimes they get upset or they get moody and they don't come at that right moment, they come later. So it's easy in a way to communicate with spirit. It's not a game, it's not anything that we should be taken lightly, but they also have to be willing to, and they have to be able to come. So I would recommend, deep meditation or prayer, setting up the place, setting up the atmosphere, maybe some deep breathing techniques like pranayama or some yogic technique. And then it's like going out of the body. You go out, you lift up your vibration, you lift up your energy, and you call upon the spirit, and you create a habit. Probably it will not work the first time, it will not work the second time, but eventually they will understand that that is when you are there for them. That is when they can come to you, and they will come and they will talk to you. The easiest way, though, is to call upon them and ask them to come to you in your dreams. So before going to bed, you sit at the side of the bed, on the edge of the bed, and you close your eyes, you do some breathing techniques, and you call upon them, and then you go to sleep without watching TV or movies or phone or talking to anyone, even.
Without watching TV or movies or having the telephone, that's very important. So let's continue with another
Hmm.
question. Unakite from the USA says, my two kids see people and figures that are not really there. Any idea of what it might be or mean?
Well, they're not really there for you. First of all, it's not so important for us if the children see those figures and beings, or if we think that they're making it up. The truth is that they're truthful to them. They're true to them. So we should always, always, always honor that. Never, never, never tell a child, that they're not seeing what they're seeing, that they're not having the experience. I mean, unless it's a psychiatric case, of course. And always try to support them, try to be not too serious about that, try to be playful with them, and try to incorporate those figures and those beings into your daily life. The fact that you don't see them doesn't mean that they don't really exist, and it doesn't really matter if they exist or if they don't exist. They're true to them. They're really important to them. So we should honor that. And the truth is that children, especially under the age of 8 or 9, they're still halfway between here and the other side. They can easily leave their body. It's as if they haven't quite landed properly yet. So they're very much interconnected, intertwined, and in touch with the other realm. So I believe that they may be seeing some deceased relatives or some guides. So ask them, another question, another very interesting question we can play with children, especially under the age of 7 or 8, is to ask them, what were you when you were a grown up? Not where you're going to be when you're going to be old, but what were you before when you were a grown up before? And they have magnificent, amazing, amazing answers. Just try that.
Well, Mikel, I think we have time for a few questions more. So
Sure.
let's run. We've got one from Colombia, Astrid
Mhm.
Mora. When my father died, I started to cry and I felt in my mind his voice telling me, "Dear, don't cry. I was not a bad person, so you don't need to be sad." I would like if really was my father or was just the effect of sadness.
Well, I mean, it's interesting that you mentioned that you were sad and you were crying because you were probably in such a mood that you went into kind of a semi trance, like an altered state of mind where you were able to listen the voice of your father. That is what we call clear audience. And I'm sure that it was really your father, that you weren't making it up. Actually, if you thought really you were making it up, you wouldn't be asking this question here today. So, and that's what they want, really. They come to us and they tell us, I haven't died. I'm alive. Don't cry for me because I'm alive. I'm here by your side. So, Astrid, that was a real gift from him.
Right, let's continue with another question. Jeja Martinez says,
Hmm.
"Hi, Mindalia, and hi, Mikkel. Hi. I have been doing the Merkaba meditation for a few weeks now. Do you think am I doing a good job with it? Am I doing it the right way? Thank you very much."
Well, my dear Jeja, I'm not such an expert on Merkava meditation. I'm not the right person to answer you that question. Maybe you should find an specialized instructor, an specialized instructor on um, Merkava meditation. But with meditation, there's not so much right or wrong. It's just taking the time to do it and just allowing some time to get into the rhythm and try to connect with it and try to be as quiet as you can or try to quiet your mind as much as you can. And if you did that, it's already fine.
And let's do just one question more. Mark from WhatsApp says, "How can we learn to be grateful about all the experiences we are living, even if they are positive or negative?"
Well, first of all, we're here incarnated in this world, and that's already a blessing, especially to be alive in such an interesting period, that so many things happen in the world, and we can just interact with anyone from any part in the world just instantly, and that's so wonderful. It's also challenging, and a lot of people feel overwhelmed. To be grateful about that, I would suggest, that you repeat thank you, that you repeat in your own language. You say, I am grateful. Every morning when you wake up, you say, thank you, God, for giving me one more day. Thank you, Spirit, for allowing me to live one more day. And something maybe like Ho'oponopono practice would be excellent for you. So I think we're running out of time. So I'm going to leave you with that.
Well, Mikkel, thank you very much for all this important information you shared with us tonight. Thank you, dear friends of mine, Dalia, for being here. And now, for you to be happy, let me tell you about the people that has been with us today. They joined us from USA, France, Spain, Cuba, England, Mexico, or Argentina. And
Wow.
now, Mikel, you have a few seconds to say goodbye to all the people who are watching and listening to you. What are your final thoughts for today?
Just to say thank you, Mindalia, and thank you everyone who connected. Please bear in mind that you're never alone. That the spirit entourage is there with you to help you out, and they're willing and they're open to your requests. God is in the miracle working business, and the spirit is helping God. So call upon them.
Well, it has been a real pleasure for me to share this space with you, Mikel. And to you, dear friends of Mindalia, remember you can join us through YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, Periscope, VK, and Vown Live. We also want you to know that you can enjoy all our content in Mindalia Radio, 24 hours of conscious content. And you can find this in our website, www.mindaliaradio.com. Before saying goodbye, we also want to remind you that Mindalia.com is an international non-profit organization. You can collaborate with us by liking our content, leaving us a positive comment, subscribing to our channel or different platforms, and of course, sharing this video with someone else. Finally, you can donate through a link you will find in our website, www.mindalia.com. By doing so, you help us to keep creating more content like the one you enjoyed today. Having said that and feeling really grateful, we are ready to say goodbye for now until a next Mindalia live streaming.